Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us in our resume workshop, part 2, resumes and professional references. My name is Bernadette Duncan. I'm the Apprentice Relationship Manager for the MAT2 program here in Michigan. So the first thing we're going to do is describe here what we're going to cover in this workshop. What does your resume do? We're going to review the parts of a resume, types of resumes, give you a resume example, as well as your professional references. What does a resume really do? A resume is a tool to market yourself. It's your personal job profile. It's going to include your skills, all of your accomplishments, past experiences that relate to the job that you're seeking, if any, classes, special classes that you took in high school, awards that you've received. Keep in mind, your resume is going to be the first chance you make to that employer to make a good impression. So make sure it's perfect. You are unique. So should your resume. No one else is going to have the same resume that you do. And your resume is always a work in progress. So whenever you learn a new skill, have a new job, new class, you want to make sure that you keep your resume updated at all times. So parts of the resume. The top is always going to have your contact information, your name, your address, the city, state, and zip code, your phone number, and your email address. You don't need to put any of your social media handles. Your email address is fine. If your email address is not professional, make sure that you create a new one and that it is professional. I will tell you that certain employers may not appreciate you having really bizarre, crazy email addresses. They want to know that you're serious and that you're taking this application serious. You're objective. It's not always necessary. However, if you don't have a lot of work experience, but you want to pursue being a mechatronics technician, it's best that you put that in an objective on your resume. So when somebody from Human Resources is looking at your resume, they know what you're searching for. The next part would be the education. For most of you, you're going to put the name of your high school, what city and state that you were located in, and that you graduated. If you're going to be graduating in 2021, you can put graduation 2021, and then we'll know that it wouldn't be your graduation date. Work experience. Now, many of you may have just, part-time jobs, which is good because it's giving you, a lot of great experience that you're going to need to deal with customers and just basic skills. So you're going to want to put that name and address down. You want to put when you started and when you ended. Some of you may still be working that, so you just want to put the word present, that you're still currently there. Make sure that you put down in bullet form a good 3 items that you are most responsible for and that you are most efficient in. Make sure that they're just short action statements describing those duties. They do not need to be sentences. The next part of your resume is your skills. What classes do you take in high school or even maybe in a community college because you've been graduated for a few years? What classes did you take that were relevant? Did you take a machining class, a welding class? You want to make sure you put that down. If there's specific computer programs that you know, make sure you include that as well. This is very important. If you know a second language and you are fluent in that, both speaking and writing, put that down. We live in a global world now, so to have that experience of knowing a second language is so important, and employers are always looking for that. Throughout your high school years, and even if you went to a community college or any other type of education, make sure you include different clubs that you were in. If you did community work, community involvement, volunteer services, if you were in a Lego club or an engineering club, that gives the employer some headway to know what kind of worker you are, that you like to work with your hands and you like to analyze things and try and figure things out. There's different types of resumes. The one that you're going to do because of your early entry into the working world, you're going to do a chronological. And the steps that I just previously explained to you is for a chronological resume. And then in a couple of slides, I'll show you what that actually looks like in full view. There's a functional resume where it just breaks down all of your skills and your achievements in a whole different format. And it doesn't really go into what you did at each company. It's overall what you know how to do. And then for a combination, which you can look up to view yourself, I didn't include that here. It's for people that are changing careers. They've been in their profession for a long time and are trying something new. Here are some guidelines that you want to follow. Make sure you use simple fonts, and the three that are most commonly used are up here: Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman. Use a size 12 font. That is the industry average size. Do not use too many graphics and pictures, because these resumes go through an electronic system through the different HR departments, and it doesn't pick up these different formats, and it comes out all scrambled. So you do want to use some bold or italic or underline to separate sections. You don't have to use all three, but preference, do something to just separate your different sections, like skills and achievements and experience. The margins are here between 1/2 and 1 inch. Don't go anything smaller or bigger than that. There's no reason why anybody should go to a second page. That would be somebody that's a completely seasoned professional. So you want to stick with 1 page. Also, there's no sentences. Make sure everything is in a bulleted item. So here's a copy of what the final resume will look like. The heading is nice and centered on top, and you have your education, your work experience, what qualifies you with some skills. And if you want to put this on the bottom, you can. You don't have to. References available upon request. If that particular employer wants references, they're going to ask you for them. And here's in red some of the items that I discussed about the guidelines about setting up your resume: the size font, what type of font, margins, and things like that. Now, your professional references. These are individuals that have worked with you in some capacity and know what your work ethics and work skills are and what type of person you are. These are not your aunts and uncles, your cousins, your siblings, your mom and dad, or your buddy that you played video games with, okay? This can be somebody that is from your high school, a teacher, a counselor, your current employer, your religious leader. They make great references. If you use an individual, make sure you call and ask them ahead of time. Nothing worse than getting a phone call to give a reference for somebody that you didn't even know they put on your, that they gave out their name and number. So make sure you ask ahead of time so they're prepared when they get that phone call. Secondly, how your heading is for your resume. Make sure it's the same on your reference sheet. And this is what it looks like. Make sure you include their name, what their profession is, whether they're at a high school or your employer, their phone number, and their email address, because employers choose different ways to contact people. Now, when you are done applying for either the MAT2 program or the ICATT program, at the end of your application, there's going to be options to contact us. And if you would like us to review your resume, we will be more than happy to take a look at it and give you some tips to maybe improve it. So these are the links that you can utilize to set up that time. And we'll be more than happy to help you out with that. So hopefully this will give you a nice start to creating your resume. And if you have any other questions, you can visit either the ICATT website or the MAT2 website and give us a call or an email, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.